groceries, also clothing, and you know what, a cell phone. These are all kind of regular, everyday kind of purchases that we make. We don't need a whole lot of hand-holding, but when you're talking about other things, like let's say when you go to buy a car, all right, or you go to buy a house, or maybe you're making decisions like a burial plot or funeral arrangements. Those are things that we only make a handful of times in our lives. You might need a little help. In fact, they're expensive, and a misunderstanding could mean money lost.
This is my brother Mark.
Mary Ann Mayberry never gets tired of flipping through photos of her baby brother.
I miss the little fella.
Mark died earlier this year. The 59-year-old had Down syndrome, but it didn't slow him down.
I mean, he was always wanting to hug you and, you know, tell you that he loved you.
For the past 5 years, Mark was dealing with dementia. Mary Ann, his primary caretaker, which meant getting everything buttoned up when he passed.
I went down there thinking I was setting up his funeral arrangements, picking out everything.
Mary Ann signing a contract with a funeral home back in 2009. The total cost a bit more than $7,400. But when Mary Ann went to make the arrangements this year,
they told me that they had to write up a contract at today's prices. And that ended up being close to $9,000.
concerned she would have to come up with almost $1,600, she quickly learned that wasn't the case.
I didn't realize that this was a life insurance policy that gained interest.
In the past 10 years, the policy actually made money. It was now worth more than $11,000.
I mean, I was shocked.
Even at today's prices, the policy would cover the cost of the funeral with about $2,000 to spare. That's when things got tricky.
Basically, they said that was their money. That, you know, they took out the policy and I signed the contract.
To be clear, the funeral home is legally able to do this. In fact, it's not uncommon. The confusion coming in how it was explained.
I didn't feel like it was fair or right that they got that extra $2,000.
Our call for action team reaching out to the funeral home to see what could be done. The company kind enough to explain what it did and then offered to give the $2,000 to Mary Ann.
I just want to say thank you very much, because without y'all, it wouldn't have happened.
And we would like to thank the funeral home. Remember, it did nothing wrong, yet it still agreed to give the money to Mary Ann. As for what you should do in paying for funeral arrangements well in advance, ask how the process works when your loved one passes. Make sure you know where the money is going and who the third party is, and review all documents and save them. As for Mary Ann, she often thinks about Mark and all the good times they shared.
If you have a consumer complaint or an issue you just can't seem to get resolved and you think our volunteers may be able to help, go to our website and then go to the Who Wants to Know section and fill out this form that you see right here.